Hello, everyone. It's 11:28 p.m. at night. Well, not the last video, but excuse me. I guess since the last longer video, just that quickly, I don't remember whether or not I did a video. Oh, yeah, I think I did do a video this morning. So I think I ate after I did the video. And it was sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock this morning that I finally ate. So I went almost 24 hours with no food to eat. I mean, I have food in the house, but I didn't eat dinner last night, because I was so tired that I didn't have an appetite. So also tonight, I was so tired I didn't have an appetite, but I just got done eating a little bit of something. So this morning, I mean, so and the last time I ate something before this morning was between 11 and 12 o'clock yesterday, that third taco. And then the last time I had something to drink, I think it was about 4 something in the afternoon when I was battling, the chest pains and all that. I don't even think that was just my chest. That was actually my heart. I really think that was my heart. So this morning, after I got off the video, I I ate between 10 and 11 o'clock, and I had something to drink. I had leftover of the pancakes, the baked pancakes that I showed y'all, and I have another baked pan of mini loaf, baked pancakes that I guess I'll probably eat it tomorrow. Excuse me. And then so I had the little miniature loaf of the pancakes and a sweet potato with nothing on it, and then I also had some. I almost caught myself, pork tenderloin. But I guess, like, if you pull it apart, I guess that probably is, you can call it pulled pork. So I got one more day left of the pork tenderloin, and which I'll eat tomorrow. Excuse me. So, excuse me. So I had so I had that's what I had this morning was the pork tenderloin and the little pancake with some honey on top and a sweet potato. Like, it was barbecue sauce on the pork tenderloin. And then I had my amazing grass, and I felt the need to take my bentonite clay just to stay on the safe side. Excuse me. And then after that, let's see. I felt bored. Like, the most bored that I felt in I don't remember how long, you know. I felt extremely bored. Excuse me. A little mucus in my throat. I felt extremely bored. So I you know, I was so bored today that I journaled, like writing in a notebook. And so, I it took me what I kind of like I started writing at a little bit after 3:30 this afternoon. After I did the video, I think it was after I did the video, trying to ask for help. And then after that, it was a little bit after 3:30 this afternoon that I started to write in my journal, but then, excuse me, y'all, I started to write in my journal, you know, handwritten in my journal, but shortly after I started, I guess I took maybe a almost 20-minute break, and I went to brush and floss my teeth with the bentonite clay, and then I had I brushed and flossed my teeth with the bentonite clay, and I drank some more water, and then I went back to journaling, and I guess from almost 4 o'clock all the way until it seemed like after 6 o'clock. So it took me 2 hours. Well, I guess maybe about 2 or 2.5 hours to write in my journal and then try to proofread and edit. I'm like, nobody else gotta read it. It's just me. But I think even back then, when I used to call myself trying to proofread and edit or try to read over again, my journal entry, for that day. Excuse me. So, excuse me. So yeah, sorry. The mucus is really not. It's not real that too bad right now, but I got some roughness in my chest. Excuse me. So I wrote 10 pages, front and back, and then that took me I'll say about 2 or 2.5 hours, and then for me to go back and reread it took me only 5 minutes. I'm like, well, ain't that something? But my handwriting started off kind of bad, and then I kept on making clumsy mistakes and keep having to scratch stuff out. Excuse me. But I think it was the strokes that I had when I was 5 years old. I think that is the reason why I write that my writing is not legible enough. There have times when I feel like I even sometimes have a hard time understanding my own handwriting or what I wrote. But so then I was extremely tired. So this afternoon, I needed to charge my phone, so that's why I didn't excuse me. That's why I didn't charge my. I mean, that's why I like I had to charge my phone, and I wanted to get it fully charged. And so to pass the time, that's what I did. I went to you know, journal on paper, and I was feeling fine all day long. Fine and like normal all day long until the until after I got done writing in the journal. Excuse me. And I got done writing the journal, and like after, somewhere around 6:15, I got done everything, you know. And I was like earlier this afternoon, I tried to I don't know if I was tired, and I may have taken it like around 1 o'clock or something. I thought that I made an attempt to take a nap. I don't remember. But I couldn't sleep then. But then, like, what happened tonight happened last night, where I felt extremely tired, like paralyzed, kind of dead tired and sleepy. I felt paralyzed, kind of dead tired and sleepy. And then, like heavy pressure on my heart. And then I guess like I fell asleep at, it could have been like before 8 o'clock tonight. And then I woke up, it was approximately 9:45 that I went to that I woke up. And I was trying to sleep some more, but couldn't sleep anymore. But I'm still feeling a little weird in my heart and my chest. But I tried to not use as much. I tried to use as little as possible of that that other alcohol, you know, to spray and sanitize. But you know, unfortunately, I had the doggone forced urination. And I don't know if it was forced urination or my body detoxing this time around, you know. But I accidentally got some, you know, urine residue on the toilet like multiple times today. Not every bathroom trip, but multiple times today. Maybe at least 3 or 4 times. And so I try to spray and sanitize in order to keep the odor down, you know. And I was trying as best as possible to not use it, but it seems like the effects end up, you know, if I end up experiencing it like hours later. So I don't think I'll want to buy that alcohol ever again, ever. But, you know, it doesn't seem like it functions like the alcohol in the that you get at the pharmacy or whatever, you know. Even though more than one person told me that it's the same thing and it functions the same, but you know, like I have never really had like any effects like this from, you know, like I've been using the alcohol for years, you know, but just not that brand. But I'll never buy that brand ever again, you know. So I don't even know if they're hitting me with directed energy weapons in my back. It feels like as if they're remotely lasering different areas of my back. That's what it feels like. And I also just felt it like on my left arm, like right by my elbow. like, hold up, exactly right here, like right here is where I'm feeling it, you know. But the top middle right, the top middle left side of my back is where it feels like as if they're lasering a knife or pointing like lasering a knife or something in my back. That's what it feels like with the directed energy weapons. So then, like, when I woke up at 9:40, approximately 9:45 tonight, and then I went to go and eat what I would have eaten earlier, you know, and it was like 10:30, I think it was, that I couldn't eat the whole pear because some of it was brown, you know, but I had a D'Anjou pear. I think that's how you pronounce it. A D'Anjou pear. And also, let's see, I had a pear and I had an avocado. And I couldn't eat the whole avocado because they had, like, the inside of it, it seemed like the green and yellow part, it seemed like certain areas started to turn gray, like a grayish brown kind, and I wasn't sure if that was okay to eat, you know. And then I had 2 slices of cheese, like mozzarella, 1 slice of mozzarella and 1 slice of Kobe Jack. And so I realized that I think I like the Kobe Jack. Like, I ate them by the 2 slices of cheese by himself. I'm like, well, I think I like the Kobe Jack a little bit better. It seems like it's more flavorful. But, you know, I didn't realize that those cheeses had like only 60 or 70 calories compared to American cheese. I don't remember off the top of my head how much American cheese is, like how many slices, how many calories it is, you know. So yeah. So after I just told y'all that they were lasering, like, it felt like they were remotely lasering my back. It felt like as if like this laser kind of feeling that I just felt in my back, the left middle side of my back, somewhat going towards, it was in the middle left side of my back going kind of towards the top or towards my shoulder. And it felt like as if a little kid was like with the remote laser beams or weapons or whatever, it just felt like, you know, it just felt like as if a little toddler was roughly doodling, you know, like as if a toddler was recklessly doodling with a pencil or something on my back. That's what it felt like. And then once I just told y'all what happened and showed, like, I pointed to the area on my like on my arm right by my elbow. I just pointed out, and just once I said all that, they stopped the attacks. So far, I had help with $105 so far, you know. So I forgot to mention that, you know, the reason why I said trying to get help with about 300 is what I'm guessing or estimating, because it's like, and that's for a one way so far, but I'm really trying to get like a because I don't know if I do get enough help to go over to Pensacola. I don't know what date it will be when I come back, if I get adequate help. So far, I was able to raise $105, and thanks so much, y'all, you know for sacrificing to help me out. Making a financial sacrifice, to help me out. So like I have to like because that local transportation is free, but it's like they don't run on the weekends. I can't call on the weekends, and I would have to make like advance appointments, and it's very hard to get a slot to get a transportation ride. So with the Uber or taxi, at least the Uber would cost almost $20 for a one way for me to get to the Greyhound station. It would cost me that much to get to the Greyhound bus area. And you know and like usually last minute Greyhound trips, they usually cost more than Greyhound trips that's in advance. But as I said, the lady told me that she was going to hold the spot for me, but she said that she couldn't hold it for very long. So, I told her that I would try to, seek help with trying to come up with the funds, to get over there, to, to try to make it over there. And it's pretty hectic to get to the Greyhound station, to and from the Greyhound station, even in Pensacola, it's rough. And it's even worse that Pensacola now has a drop-off center, rather than an actual station. And Alex Dupree, he gang stalked and followed me. They said that if you gang stalk somebody and cross state lines, that's a federal human trafficking crime. And that's exactly what he did. Cross state lines to gang stalk me. And he was trying to create trouble on purpose and deliberately trying to set me up to get wrongfully banned from even riding the Greyhound buses. He just got me wrongfully banned from riding the Pensacola buses the day before. And then the next day, it's like before I even announced it to anybody, he was already there at the Greyhound station. I'm like, what the fuck kind of supernatural shit is this? Alex Dupree, I don't know how he was able to do it, but he knew where I was at all times. Or he was able to predict my next move always. I never really had any weird shit happen like this before. And he works for Satan. He even admitted to me that he did. Excuse me. So, excuse me. So with me, journaling, I used to journal like let's see. I think I started really journaling in high school. Like my sophomore year in high school, I was 15 years old, and the fake social worker, Miss Karen Pierce, and the fake foster mom, Adrian Felder, they used to try to tell me if I got a complaint or if I got a problem, write it in your journal. That's what they used to tell me. Excuse me. So then I started to show my journals to the guidance counselors at school and everything. And they weaponized that against me. They would make false promises to not tell, but then they would weaponize that against me and showing. I mean, they would, the foster mom would find out about it, and the fake social worker try to say, "Well, Candy, you got to stop writing the letters." But I'm not allowed to expose the truth about how evil y'all are. But the guidance counselor was even fake and evil. So the guidance counselor from fake West Jeff High School, her name was Joanne Elfer. Excuse me. And she backstabbed and betrayed me, because when you think that you can trust your counselor, to talk out your problems, yeah, she might have been a perp, but she used to act like she had some faith in me too. She used to tell me that she could always picture me being a pathologist in a lab. She would always tell me that she could picture me having a career as a pathologist in a lab. Excuse me. But at that time, my goal in life was to be an OBGYN in the Air Force. I didn't even get close. So my life, I never would have expected my life to be what it is now. Excuse me. And I guess that they deemed me to be too retarded for the military, or too disabled for the military. Excuse me. I guess I was considered too disabled for the military, but not disabled enough for SSI and Social Security benefits. But it's really crazy how obviously disabled certain people are, Excuse me. How obviously disabled they are. And if they would still get denied SSI and Social Security benefits and have to keep fighting in court. Excuse me. But I've seen some mentally normal people who pretend to be crazy and feel like they know how to game the system. They end up getting SSI and Social Security or get an SSI check without even trying. Effortlessly. Excuse me, the mucus is pretty bad right now. So, so it's like they would end up effortlessly, you know, getting to get SSI and Social Security. So, I'm more disabled than I realized that I was. I didn't realize I was that disabled. I didn't realize I was that disabled. So, excuse me. So I have, like, due to the foster care abuse and experimentation, I ended up with physical and mental disabilities. But before 1960, these labels didn't exist. Like, I don't think so. But there's a difference between if somebody try to falsely consider you to be crazy because because they don't like you speaking the truth. Say, well, they will falsely label you as schizophrenic or crazy for not conforming to the norms of society. Excuse me. But then they would consider you crazy for not conforming to the norms of society. But then, excuse me, the people who really do be having like mental issues or whatever, actually for real, I heard it's not mental, but I heard it's something spiritual. And I heard that like if they might be demon possessed and playing with witchcraft, if they might be demon possessed and because they play with witchcraft or the occult, and a lot of the real mental issues I heard is actually a soul problem. It's a spiritual problem, not just something excuse me, in your mind. It's not just a mind problem. It's a soul problem. It's a I meant to say a spiritual issue. But due to the cult and Taekwondo and everything, as earlier, when I was a child, I probably did have, like, people were trying to tell me that I had satanic ritual abuse done on me. And they said through MK Ultra and mind control that I wouldn't remember all the stuff done to me. But I do remember being spiritually oppressed. I didn't know what was going on with myself, but I felt spiritual oppression, like heavy spiritual oppression, especially when I was in first and second grade. It was the worst. But I was too young to understand what was going on with myself. And that was one of the reasons why and then the abuse I experienced, excuse me acting out the abuse that was done to me. I didn't know any better, So I heard that was all spiritual problems. I mean, being spiritually messed up from that fake cult. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I used to, like, I'm not going to say it because the online perps will weaponize against me. They will weaponize it against me, so I just won't say it. So anyway, so it's like, yeah, with the fake cult that I was in, I didn't realize, excuse me, how spiritually devastating it is. And the fake foster mom, she didn't give a damn. She didn't give a damn at all. She didn't care. So, but I don't practice witchcraft or play with the occult. But I didn't even realize that taking martial arts, excuse me, they said that taking martial arts, well, according to the fake deliverance ministry people, they said that taking martial arts is one way to open up the doorway for demons to enter and oppress you, you know. But I don't even know if my twin sister or the biological brothers or the foster sister Joni, if they experienced any spiritual oppression, you know. But I didn't know what was going on with me, you know. But I mean, I don't even deal with deliverance ministries anymore. I just simply just try to read the Bible and pray, and you know, I heard that prayer and fasting is between you and the Lord, and like people really, and also doing good deeds for other people as well. You know, supposed to be between you and the Lord. And then, you know, like we're not supposed to like do like fasting or doing good deeds for people and all that, you know, publicly out in the out for show. I mean, out in the public or whatever, or for show to try to give ourselves, you know, credit and recognition, you know. So I basically, you know, I heard that you got to do good deeds in secret, and you know, without expecting really anything in return, and don't go bragging and boasting about it, you know. And then, you know, God will bless you, you know. But, you know, they really do have like certain people who pretend to do fake good deeds just for show. And I heard that that's what you call a communal narcissist, you know. Or they would try to use that, do something nice for you, and they'd be fake about it. And then they use that's supposed to be like bait to reel you in so that they can make you feel trapped and have control over you, you know. And sometimes when a narcissistic abuser pretends to give fake blessings or whatever to the victim, you know, and sometimes, you know, a lot of times they give you a fake blessing that seems like it's too good to be true, or once in a lifetime rare, or too good to be true. only, and they will even waste time, the money and resources to trick and fool you. And then after you discover that they use that to manipulate you and try to control you and stuff, and you wake up to the truth and you start rebelling against them, that's when they pretend like they're the hurt victim. You know, like what Trisha did. Perfect example. You know. So when me writing in my journal, the private journal, you know, writing by hand, you know, I be feeling like I need, you know, emotional support and for people to hear my cries for help too, you know. And I also pray to God and stuff like that, but I need to pray more. I need to pray more, you know. And so I mean, I need to pray more. So I mean, I be feeling the, you know, the need for people to hear my cries, you know, or what I'm going through, and you know, so basically, I wrote in my journal, like vented in my journal to excuse me, I vented in my journal stuff that I was trying to tell people on YouTube or TikTok, but nobody, or Twitter, but nobody wanted to hear it, or they wanted to have me canceled or muted, or you know, I journaled about stuff that if I said it in public, y'all would lie and manipulate and twist what I say and take it out of context. But I mean, I felt like, well, for me to put this on paper privately in a journal, you know, nobody can muzzle me. You know, nobody can muzzle me, you know. And I got the liberty and freedom to write or say what I want, you know. But I felt like a emotional release. I mean, I wasn't even done, but you know, I felt an emotional release. You know, like an emotional burden. You know, not 100%, but big time. Excuse me. I felt like an emotional burden lifted from off of my shoulders, you know. But I mean, I didn't finish writing because I started to get a little tired. And then, like, the last half hour of me trying to, you know, finish journaling, they started to, burn my eyes with the direct energy weapons or gas or whatever that is that they use, you know, to trying to burn my eyes. You know, my eyes were burning. Oh man, my ear is itching like crazy. So I heard that me feeling the need to sniff everything, I heard that that was a Tourette's tick or Tourette's symptom. And I've been doing that since before I was even diagnosed. Like, I always felt the need to sniff everything, you know, or smell everything. I don't know if that was an OCD or Tourette's, but I heard it's a Tourette's tick. but I don't know if it's probably OCD also, you know. But yeah, I didn't get to finish off writing everything I wanted to, you know, because I started to get tired and my eyes started to burn. But the first time and the second time I tried to write on paper, you know, I guess it was July 30th. I showed y'all that little journal entry. It was a couple of pages, and they were burning my eyes really bad and making my hand cramp. And when I tried to write a little letter for one of the errands that I had to run, they also burned my eyes and made my hands feel like cramping. But today, or you know, but earlier they didn't. I didn't feel cramping in my hands. My right hand, you know, I'm right-handed to write, so I didn't feel cramping in my hand. So at first, it's like I felt like as if I would dreaded to write and try to make myself write, like I didn't want to write. But then, you know, once I started writing, then I had like this flood of ideas and thoughts, and didn't want to stop writing, you know. But I mean, like stuff in my private journal is stuff that I can't even say, not even on my blog, because of the perps manipulating and twisting and deliberately taking things out of context, you know, or what my intentions were, you know. And I guess me expressing myself, it's difficult to find the right words, or I have difficulty with trying to formulate, you know, my thoughts properly or whatever, you know. And it's even worse when you're sleep deprived. So, but I felt much relief to journal on paper, even though nobody wanted to read it, or nobody, you know, stuff that people wouldn't want to hear if I told them about it, or stuff that people would use it against me and take me the wrong way, you know. Like recently I had a topic or something that been hurting me, you know, that been bothering me, and y'all took it upon yourselves to cancel and mute me on my own videos on my own channel, and made sure that I wasn't gonna get any thumbs up, and you gave me massive thumbs down on the YouTube videos and the community posts. Like I ended up getting like more than 70 views and 0 thumbs up on that video. And then certain other videos about that topic, you know, like y'all, even, it's like if I have an hour and a half long video and something that y'all don't approve of, that I might just briefly mention for 4 or 5 minutes, y'all rate and thumbs down like the entire video, because you don't like one small little part, when everything else could be good, something good or something important or whatever. Like the video that I talked about with them attacking my heart the other day. that's one of the more recent videos where they made sure that because I mentioned something that they don't approve of, they made sure I didn't have thumbs up. But but they like they got so many people that on social media. People are faker on social media than in person, and people on social media are fake as fuck, like fake as hell, like very fake, and they would rather do evil in secret. They would rather do evil in secret, but then publicly falsely make themselves look like good people or good doers. But somebody that's supposed to be Christian, if they try to do good in secret, but if they sin, the whole world would know about it. If their sins get exposed or publicized, and then they end up being discredited. But wicked people, they do evil behind closed doors, but then have a fake, godly, holy Christian front. Like, you want to know how many people who pretend to be Christian, but then behind closed doors, they perform satanic rituals? You wouldn't believe it. It's mind-boggling. All these fake-ass church folks. So if somebody wanted to abusively and narcissistically at a church potluck or something like that, they want the whole world, they want the whole entire church congregation to know how greedy I am, or how greedy that they think I am. And they would do stuff like, either certain narcissistic abusers would either be extremely stingy with the food and very controlling, and others will sit there and give me like food that's too much for me to eat. In both scenarios, they would use that to manipulate me with the food, and then use that to justify calling me fat and greedy. But I got down to 192 pounds in 2018, still being called fat and greedy. 2018, 2019, still being called fat and greedy. Excuse me. I didn't even get, nobody ever complimented me and talking about, oh, Candy, you're looking good now, or you're looking real good, or you're looking better. Nope. But like, even the foster mom used to do that. Like, she would let me know when she thinks that I'm doing bad. She'll let me know when she thinks my hair looks bad, or she'll, excuse me, or she'll let me know that she think my hair looks bad or my clothes look bad, and then she'll let me know that, oh, you were looking nice last week when you had your hair such and such a way, or you were looking real good last week, when you wore such and such a dress or something, Like, well, she didn't compliment me when I was looking good, or when she thought I was looking good. She'll let me know when I'm gaining weight, and lecture me about my weight. But then, say, oh, well, 6 months ago, you weren't big like that, or you look a whole lot. You used to look a whole lot better 6 months ago. Like, oh, you're big as a house now. But I was I've been 5 feet 2 inches tall, I guess, since 6th grade. My height has not grown since 6th grade. And then, so how could I be like, I was 135 pounds being called fat and greedy? Like for the 6th grade dance, I was on Prozac medication. And I have a picture of, me and the foster mom, at the 6th grade dance. And during the time of that 6th grade dance, which was the end of my 6th grade school year at McDonald 26 Elementary School in Fate, Gretna, back in 1995, I was already 5 feet 2 inches tall and wasn't going to grow any taller. So I was in elementary school being called fat and greedy. And it's like, if I was 135 pounds right now, at about to be 40 years old, I would be like anybody else that size would be considered skinny. But yeah, I have been called fat and greedy since 5th grade. But like throughout junior high and high school, like in my sophomore year in high school, I was 15 years old. That was the skinniest I ever was. That was the skinniest I ever was. And the foster stepdad used to call me a fucking fat ass. When he was like 6 feet 2 inches tall, and they said that he was about 300 pounds. He was fat himself. But, I was skinny and still being called fat and greedy by narcissistic abusers. And then I really started gaining weight during my senior year in high school. Excuse me. During my senior year in high school and being on Risperdal medication, that made me gain up to 175 pounds. And like those medications make you extra hungry, And so I used to have to like the hunger, like the foster mom wasn't going to send me to school with any, and she never did. She wasn't going to send me to school with any snacks or any money for snacks. Even with the fake, cheap, stingy allowance, I used to have to sneak and spend the allowance money. Like, excuse me. We used to be able to get concessions, like the Snickers bar would be 50 cents, a bag of chips 50 cents, a Sprite 50 cents, And I used to, like, in high school, not junior high, but in high school, there was a period where I had to go and beg and panhandle other kids, asking for money for snacks to eat, because I was like, the hunger was unbearable, and from the side effects of the medication, and if I would have told the foster mom and them about it, they would have brushed me off or acted like they didn't believe me, or excuse me, just like any other symptoms. They condemned me for sleeping, and it was involuntary and uncontrollable, and they wanted to punish me for sleeping. And they would say that that's no excuse, and that I would use my medication or my disorders as an excuse to justify bad behavior, when the symptoms of the disorder are the behavior, right? Or for me to have a certain side effect of a medication, or even if it involves fainting and passing out, as a side effect of medication, they would want to punish me and make it like as if it's a tantrum for attention. That was just faking a tantrum for attention, you know. But they can have all the rage like all the rage and hollering and yelling that they want to do. You can ask the foster mom a simple question and she would just, you would think she would turn into like transform into like the Tasmanian devil. Excuse me. I forgot what cartoon was that where they had the Tasmanian devil. Or she would transform into a fucking tornado and go off. Like, and then she would talk about that I always go off when they would manipulate, trigger, and provoke me. And then they reverse it on me and lie and say that I am the one that's triggering, antagonizing, and provoking people, or trying to sabotage other people. When it's y'all doing it, like everything y'all did to me, y'all falsely accuse me of doing to everybody. Y'all falsely accuse me of doing people dirty and treating people bad. So yeah, like before being in 5th grade and taking Prozac, people didn't really used to call me fat or greedy like that. You know, they didn't used to call me fat or greedy. Excuse me. But they used to call Joni fat. The foster sister Joni was really overweight. Like, Joni started gaining weight, and she wasn't even on psych medications, but she started gaining weight in like she was 9 years old in like 4th grade, I think. And they say that Joni used to be really smart, and then like her grades went downhill. So Joni used to be 8 years old and skinny, and they say Joni used to be a straight A student. Then by the time she was 9 years old in 4th grade, or 10 years old in 4th grade, and then 11 and 12 years old, and like she repeated 4th and 5th grade. And she was like 14 years old in 7th grade, or 19 years old in 12th grade. And James was 20 years old in 12th grade. But I mean, like, the foster, like Joni used to pick on us. Well, not us, but I don't know about my twin sister, but she used to pick on me or treat me mean or something, you know. Excuse me, because they used to, like, especially when I was in 1st grade, big time, the kids used to bully, harass, and laugh at me and call me retarded. Like, oh, stay away from her, she's retarded. So, but I was like, I did not start off school in kindergarten. I did not start off in special ed. I started off in regular classes. And then I bit that boy, Anthony, in kindergarten. And after I bit him, you know, I don't know why I did it. I was a kid. Excuse me. I don't remember why I did it. But, you know, like, I think I had 3 incidents throughout school where I bit somebody. But I don't recall if anybody ever bit me before. So, I mean, I don't remember when I bit Anthony. I don't remember if it was before or after the strokes that I had. but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, I don't have any, I do kind of remember biting Anthony, but I don't fluently remember, but I kind of remember because Mr. Freddie from the Masonic Smelly Crab family, he just wanted to meddle in. He didn't care about me, but he narcissistically thought he had the fake authority to whip me with a belt. Now, I remember that. I don't remember the physical act of him whipping me. I don't remember if he spanked me with his hand or a belt. But he put his hands on me more than once. And the foster mom gave anybody and everybody the liberty to punish and discipline us. Usually biological parents, somebody's birth mother wouldn't, like, they would be overprotective and say, nobody can discipline my kids but me. I'm going to discipline my kids. But the foster mom felt like just because they're an adult that they can have their way with doing what they wanted to us, But that wasn't the first or the only time Mr. Freddie put his hands on me. When he wasn't like, he shouldn't have been authorized to do that, to put his hands on me. That was none of his damn business. You're just a fucking neighbor across the street. You never did shit for me. You never even wished me a fucking happy birthday. You never got me a Christmas gift. You never spent a fucking penny on me. You never did anything for me. And the Crab family used to hate us and treat us like vermin. They used to treat us like pests. Even when we were little kids. They couldn't stand it. They fucking hated us. So, and I think I was in second grade and I bit a boy named Corey. And I didn't know that he was deaf. But, I felt really bad. I don't know why I did it. But they said that, and before, another thing, like this boy named Jonathan, I think I was in fourth grade and I bit him. But those were the only 3 instances where I bit somebody. But nowadays, I would not bite anybody, unless my life is in danger. And that might be my only doggone weapon. I've even dealt with all those rapes, and it didn't even cross my mind to bite anybody, But hell, they've had, not at school, but, dealing with babies, babies and little kids freaking bit me before. The foster nephew, Kyle, like I think I was 8 years old and he was 1. And he caught me off guard and bit me really fucking hard in my back. And the foster mom punished me for crying. She didn't spank or whip him. Now, I vividly remember that like yesterday. The foster nephew, Julian, the one that's half Filipino, he used to headbutt and bite the shit out of people when he was a baby. So, I probably did have moments where people had bit me before, but I just don't remember. I mean, some other situations where but yikes, to be bitten, it's not a good feeling. I would never bite anybody ever again. And excuse excuse me, probably unless it might be a life or death situation, or my life being in danger. But they said that I try to gouge somebody's eyeballs out in kindergarten, and I have zero memory of doing that. I don't have any memory of at all of doing that to some. I mean, I do remember biting Anthony, but to try to gouge somebody's eyes out, I don't remember that. But then I've had moments where the special ed teachers, no matter what grade I was in, not every year, but the special, like, I can't believe that they used to do this though. If the special ed teachers used to make up lies, tell lies on you in your special ed IEP report. They used to, I mean, I've had, you know, teachers that would lie on me, you know, in my IEP report. Excuse me. Sorry. So, yeah. So, like, I think, like, it was 2006 when I was in New York after graduating from college. I had interest in becoming an author. Excuse me, becoming an author and trying to write a novel. And I think even then I used to journal, like private journal on paper. But like in high school or college years, I don't remember whether or not I used to journal. I probably did, but just don't remember. But like I dealt with the fake mental health counseling in Denton, Texas, and they used to encourage me to journal. And sometimes I used to even show the journals to the the mental health therapist, you know, excuse me, the mental health counselor or whatever. But I guess that's what kept me journaling for years. But yeah, but some of my older journals I threw away. I like if I had to throw away the journal, I had to throw away whole notebooks sometimes, because I had to move residences or relocate or something. So if I had to relocate or move residences, but living in Denton, Texas, living in Denton, Texas and Los Angeles, I journaled a lot and journaled for years, and I might still have some journal writing in my I don't know if I threw away some of those journal, you know, writings from Los Angeles, but you know, excuse me, I don't remember whether or not I kept them or threw them away. But you, know, I but like in 2017 and 2018, I don't remember whether or not I journaled, or I don't remember whether or not I journaled on paper when I was in Greenville, South Carolina. But like I even used to do like hours and hours of private video journaling that's on some external hard drives that's corrupt. Like back in 2013, 14, 15, whatever, I used to do like video journal, you know, but I used to keep it private to myself. And it never crossed my mind to put it up on YouTube. You know, I wasn't an active, like I had a few YouTube videos here and there, and some of the videos I took down or whatever. I should have kept them up, but on one of my other channels, which currently the targeted by the Psych World backup channel, I had a video about the fake IDMR cult and exposing them. And then out of me being scared about and that video was gaining a lot of attention. You know, I got a lot of hate too, but that video um that video, like, it was getting a lot of attention. But then, you know, I felt scared, you know, and took the video down. And then they had the fake IDMR cult members were threatening me in a video. I mean, I'm sorry, not in the video, but in the comment section on my video on YouTube, you know. And then it's like that one was getting like more popularity. But then I took it down, and then like I re-uploaded it, and like the re-upload nobody really pays attention to. But on this Candy Grand Prix channel, I think I may have had a few videos here and there that I took down. But the first video that I have currently on here, the first video that has not been taken down, is a video about the fake IDMR cult. You know, and it doesn't have like 600 something views like the other video did, and lots of comments like the other video did, you know. But it's a different video of me talking about the fake IDMR cult. But the foster mom's abuse herself traumatized me more than the IDMR cult. But the foster mom ran her own household like a cult and had us to spy on and snitch on each other and be distrustful of each other. And then she had the Masonic Smelly Crab family stalking and spying on our every move and then reporting everything back to her. So yeah. But it seems like our relationship and how we get along, you know, it's like foster care abuse ruined my relationship with what could have been with the biological family. But I don't even know, like the family, the biological family, they act like they hate us, me and my twin sister, from foster care. You know, And of course, we ended up staying longer. So, you know, we ended up being the most brainwashed. And it's like the family would single Sean out and hate him too. But they accept and include Wyatt and Mark, and they were in they were in the same foster care household as we were. But Sean was not with us. He was with the foster aunt Mickey, the foster mom's sister Mickey, you know. And he was in and out of group homes. And then they brag and laugh saying that me and Sean are the most retarded people in the family, or that the biological cousin Daryl Jr., who they call Do, they call him retarded also. You know. So, but it's like the whole entire family really is mentally off, slow, and retarded. But the foster aunt Mickey, her, I mean, it's like she talked like somebody that's mentally retarded, but she got like a master's degree in nursing or something. And she did many foolish things. I never really heard nobody call her retarded. But she used to tell Brandy, my twin sister, she used to try to tell her, you know, it's like she used to try to tell her, if you keep on smoking, you hear? Keep on smoking, you hear, Brandy? And watch your baby come out retarded. Saying that, keep on smoking, you hear? Keep on smoking and watch your baby gonna come out retarded. So, and Wyatt used to laugh. The biological brother Wyatt used to laugh about the foster mom and Adrian Felder smoking a cigarette and be like, Brandy, let me tell you something, Brandy. Your baby is retarded. Like, she used to smoke a cigarette. And he used to mock, laugh, and intimidate. I'm sorry, he used to mock, laugh, and imitate that, you know. Like, he used to try to impersonate the foster mom. Oh, man, one of these fuckers. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was one of those roaches. Though I think it was one of the roaches with the silver wings. I don't even know if they actually do fly. So, my twin sister, she would feel hurt, you know. And one time she said that she was on some party line and Raven was a year old. And she said she cried and her feelings were hurt that people were bullying her and telling her, get that retarded baby off the phone. I'm like, damn. Well, Raven has supposedly has that disability called microcephaly. And I guess she's, still alive because they try to say that she wasn't expected to live long. But, you know, they try to say that she had microcephaly. And it's like, well, if you got a disability like that, then, you know, that it ain't your fault. And, you know, it's pretty cruel for somebody to call you retarded, you know. But I haven't been called crazy all my life, but I've been called retarded all my life. Despite having a bachelor's degree, I still get called retarded. And the low class, ignorant, ghetto people, you know, sociopaths and ghetto narcissistic abusers, it's like their tone of voice and the way they say it, you know, it make you feel a special kind of a distinct special kind of bad, you know, when they condemn you and call you retarded, you know. Or they'll say, and you wonder why they call you retarded. Like the foster mom Adrian Felder, she used to say that. She used to tell us that. She used to tell me and my twin sister that. And you wonder why they call you retarded. But people didn't really used to call me crazy until after that situation with Lanika and the Kraft family. You know, when I was in 9th grade, people didn't start to call me crazy, you know, until that situation. And that's how I ended up becoming targeted. Like, my life has not been the same since. But sometimes I wonder, sometimes I really do wonder if I really have been targeted since birth. You know, who knows? Like in 1st grade, when the kids were calling me retarded and saying, ew, stay away from her, she retarded. You know. So, because of that, you know, that made me wonder if I was targeted even back then. With those abusive, narcissistic special ed teachers and mainstream teachers, you know, when they, you know, when they would make up lies on me, make me wonder if I was targeted even then. I don't even, like, sometimes I do wonder if I was targeted from birth or targeted since birth. But my life did not change for the worse until that situation, you know. You know what? I don't know. I haven't even been outside, but I got bites on my feet, and I hope they're not fleas. I don't know if they're fleas or ant. I can't tell if they were flea or ant bites on both of my feet. And I haven't even been outside today or yesterday, you know. It's now Sunday, August 20th, 2023 at 12:57 a.m. in the morning. Hold up right quick. Okay, so David Jane, is that David Jane? So I don't know if that's David Jane made a harassing comment. Now he's posing, got a fake new account posing as Dorothy Simpson. But y'all will praise and defend and agree with these demonic satanic perps that spew out lies, gibberish, and nonsense. And y'all defend and agree with them. Or mute and cancel me and don't want to hear anything I have to say. mute me, shut me up, and cancel me on my own channel. How is it that I get, you know, a minimum of 14 thumbs down and 0 thumbs up on a video of me talking about, them attacking my heart with the directed energy weapons? Y'all really don't care if I do die. Excuse me. So I heard somebody, I don't know if he was a journalist or who he was, on Twitter that was in Hawaii. I don't know the whole story, but somebody said that, he said that he'd been stalked and harassed. So it's like the moment he speaks the truth about what happened in Maui, Lahaina, Hawaii, he became heavily targeted and followed. And somebody with that big of influence, they usually kill you or have you suicided. And I heard that even though targeted individuals, we be broke as fuck. We be broke. Targeted individuals are broke, a lot of the times. They're forced to be homeless. They deal with our death the same way that they do the celebrities. Like, they assassinate us covertly. We end up, first they assassinate our character, and then they assassinate our life, They destroy you before you get killed. Like, see, like, Aaliyah was still a freaking child, like a teenager, and I think she was targeted. They started to make her look bad. They made her look bad and protected our sicko R. Kelly. And then it seemed like they perked and stalked her until she died, and even mock her and still be trying to profit and make money off of her after she died. And they did the same thing with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, from what I read, it looked like he was 4 and 5 years old trying to resist and didn't want to be in the music industry, didn't want the fame. But his wicked dad, Joe Jackson, he was a straight up psychopath, not narcissistic abuser, but he was a whole damn psychopath. Joe Jackson, forced Michael and the other boys to be famous. I heard Michael Jackson didn't want to sign that contract, that satanic contract, and he was a little boy. But they got fake truthers trying to run around here and act like they're exposing Michael Jackson as a bad person. I fell for the lies too, And Michael was heavily targeted. I was in Costa Rica in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina when I first heard on the news that they would call him Wacko Jacko. And, making a mockery out of him. And even Whitney Houston, they mocked her before, during, and after her death, and still profiting off of her. And many other people, people will say, stay away from Ellen DeGeneres. I think that's how you pronounce her name. They say she'll set you up to die. Stay away from Oprah. Because I heard that Oprah and other celebrities back then, I used to hear people used to say, before I found out about the Illuminati, people used to say Oprah was a devil worshiper. Now now after so many years, I see what people were saying, it just went over my head years ago. So I thought I saw within the past couple of years that Oprah was on stage, that she mocked God on stage and then fell or something happened. I don't remember. And she heavily promotes New Age, and she rapes, tortures, and traffics kids in Africa, like African girls. I heard that her and Alicia Keys and some other fake celebrities, that these celebrities who we idolize and worship and falsely believe that they're good people. Like, I even heard that Missy Elliott would torture and rape young girl and traffic young girls in Brazil. A lot of your favorite celebrities either being trafficked or trafficking people. Fuck these fake retarded celebrities. The hell with them. And then now I see what people say, that the celebrities don't give a damn about you, because they be narcissistic abusers. Nobody condemns them for being entitled, but people love to speak well of evil people, and they want to throw stones at you for, if you don't like whore Beyonce, her cult will come and try to they will try to put you to death. But people who really are good people get falsely slandered as evil, or people that's speaking the truth, or people that's doing right. It's backwards. It's just really backwards, And and let's not forget about Tupac. But, people wait. And it's like the people who, if they hate you while you're alive and speak ill of you and falsely set you up, target you, and frame you, and then they treat you like a martyr after you died. They treat you like a martyr after you died, or after you were covertly assassinated. So like as I said, if David Jane is coming on here saying stuff, like for over 24 hours, like all day yesterday, not August 19th, I had no online gang stalking activity directly to me, but they might have been gossiping and saying stuff behind my back, gossiping and saying stuff behind my back, but I haven't had any harassing comments for over 24 hours. And so now David Jane is posing as Dorothy Simpson. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that I was trying to charge my phone, I went to try to do something productive, like, journaling on paper to help keep my sanity, because I was too damn bored. And it was too hot to go outside. They had the heat advisory. And I didn't want to deal with being gang stalked, trying to take a break from that, So, I mean, I haven't even talked about David Jane, these random attacks, unprovoked, for no reason at all, Like he put in quotes, "Nobody forced you" or something like that. And he probably got, they be putting out dozens of harassing comments with their fake new accounts. And people yell at me saying, "Oh, just block them or just ignore them." Well, if the comments stay, I end up losing subscribers and y'all believe the lies and turn against me. I've even lost TikTok followers for me reposting their slander against me and trying to call myself using this as evidence of the slander and lies. And I lost so-called targeted individuals. They turn against me and believe that I am everything that I'm falsely accused of. So they're making up lies on me, and if I did something wrong, why would I tell on myself or expose myself like that? Most people usually don't, but I know I'm innocent, and I know they're lying on me. I know I didn't do the things that they have been falsely accusing me of. And they will even slander the targeted individual. First, the biggest thing is to lie on you and say you're a terrorist. They'll lie and say you're a terrorist, racist, homophobic, you're a drug dealer, a prostitute. They will even lie and say you're gay. Excuse me. They'll lie and say you're schizophrenic, you're crazy, that you're a dangerous person. They'll lie and say you're a narcissist. They'll lie you and say that you're a thief and a drug addict when they be covertly drugging you. They'll lie and say you're paranoid and be trying to gaslight. It's like they work too hard to try to silence you when you're exposing the truth, and you stay under attack. So, well, my storage space, I'm pretty sure, is eaten up on my phone. So, I have 24 hours to try to get help with about $200 more, to try to get the Uber and the Greyhound transportation to Pensacola, by Monday, before Monday, by Monday, early Monday morning. I'm trying to get the help and trying to get the funds to get to Pensacola. So I mean, well, if it so happens, where I end up, if she said, "Oh, well, I gave the place away already," or something like that, then, if you, I would end up, I would ask you, if you wanted me to refund the money. I would try to refund you the money if I can't go down, if I can't go down, or if she said that the house, that place is taken, But I have been praying, to be able to, get that place, but I really love Pensacola, but due to the gang stalking and me being wrongfully banned from everywhere, it's like they coercively they manipulated and forced me to almost hate Pensacola. But I don't have to go out or go places. Like when I was homeless, I had no choice but to be out and about, So thanks for listening to me. I'll see y'all later.